What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, taking a look at the new Raidraptor support. If you guys have ever been on my channel, you know I'm a really big fan of it. And I want to showcase some new combos. One thing, I saw the Lithium video, and he said, there's already one card combos. There are. It's Time Thief Regulator. Now, if you get Ash, it's really unfortunate. And sometimes it just be like that, you know? But if this goes through, it is full combo by itself. And I'm going to showcase the new support. I've been playing this deck forever. And I am going to do some different combo lines. You can see here I don't ever usually have the skip force. So in this newest version of the deck, I took out the rocket package, and I just used some of the new cards that are in here. And obviously I added a new rank up magic spell. I don't know, like I'm still in the process of it, but it does feel a little bit more consistent, and the deck list seems a little bit cleaner. I wasn't sold on all of the new support, but for sure, no matter what happens, even if I go back to my original list, I am going to put in Bloom Vulture, or whatever they end up calling it. It's so good. You can easily manipulate, everything that you do in the deck to only have Winged Beast, right? Even though you're not, these are machine monsters, I'm pretty sure. It's extremely easy to get all Winged Beast on the board. And not being able to be able to bring this out on the field without using its effect is so strong. This card's really good. And another thing that I did is in my Time Thief package, I also just mixed it up a little bit. I used to run 2 of the one that special summons from hand, and now I have a Jester. So if you already open up the counter trap or something like that, you can also just search this, and this is just, again, another body, and you can just do so much, right? Here comes Strix, and I can bring out, the Mimicry, and then this is where the combo gets different. Like normally I would just search another card, but in this case I'm going into the Brave Strix. So the cool thing is, of course, that Raider's Knight always counts as a Phantom Knight or a Raidraptor and Phantom Knight's card. So it's going to trigger your Strix. So that's going to go ahead and let me set a rank up magic spell. And now I can search the counter trap, which is not counter trap, it is a trap. But basically it's an Omni Negate. If you control a Raidraptor XYZ monster, you can target a face-up card in your opponent's field and negate it. So, it's your anti-Dark Ruler no more, anti-evenly match, those kinds of things. And of course, the Time Thief stuff already gives you a counter trap as well. So you pretty much have 2 Omni Negates now. Now, when you use the new monster, it blocks you into Dark, so your combo lines are very different. But I do think it's worth it, and you'll see why. The new XYZ is so good. Now, okay, most of the time, too, just really quickly, most people use this to go into the Calamities lock. I don't like Calamities. I feel like it's cringe. Like, I played Calamities everything recently, and it's just, not fun, right? It just doesn't create fun gameplay, and hopefully those cards get banned at some point. So Kali Yuga is not in this deck. I'm kind of running a different version of it, hoping that it gets banned, really. And it lets you bring one out from the deck, and then when it's sent to the graveyard, it lets you bring one out. Now, this is very random, but the reason I do this is because you want to go into the new one, which is a rank 13, which is really difficult to do. It's not hard to get there through this card right here. Now, you could also bring out some of the Towers ones, but they're unaffected. Like the other one, there's a Final Fortress one that is unaffected as long as it has Raidraptor XYZ. A lot of the times you can detach with Raider Swing, but sometimes you can't. So this is the highest level or highest rank XYZ that you can do to get to 13, right? You can banish 5. Your graveyard's gonna be full of cards. And the new rank 13 obviously is very good. And then you can go into Dark Requiem during your opponent's turn, right? The reason you're doing that is because you're also going to search another copy of this so that you can use it during your opponent's turn. Normally you wait, and use it with this, but, you don't always have to do that. Okay, so I can send Boots. There goes Shade Brigandine. And then there you go, Time Thief Redoer. So it's an Omni Negate that is non-targeting, shuffle back. And then, you just have so many cards, right? It's such an unbelievable deck. So you can also run something like Evil Swarm Nightmare. But this seems like a little overkill, right? I have 2, Omni Negates right here in the back. I have a rank up that's going to pop a card. These are all, put them face down. This card is a non-once per chain Psy-Frame Gear Gamma, basically. And like I talked about Redo already. So it's all pretty cool. And then during your opponent's turn, of course, you can go into the new one. And that destroys all cards on your opponent's field. And it's unaffected by card effects, so your opponent isn't stopping it. It's also a 4K body. So, yeah, this deck is pretty good, right? I mean, the new combo line is fantastic. It seems like overkill, and maybe it is, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what my main takeaway is. This deck is already ridiculous, and I guess this just makes it a little bit more ridiculous. Now, Regulator is a really good combo, obviously. But you can also do some other things with it. So I can go ahead, seeing the other pieces in your hand aren't really that much of a horrible brick. You'll see here, right? There's no Time Thief Redoer here, but I still have plenty of cards to extend through. It is unfortunate to use the Shade Brigandine early, but it's not a big deal. Like I said, this card is probably the best of all of the new support. Being able to, like, this lets you have more impactful cards in your hand, because normally you don't have multiple normal summons, right? But with this, you basically do. So I get to bring this out, and now I can send this to the graveyard. The Mimicry, which is going to search me a card. Basil Ship can obviously bring itself back. Like, the Time Thief stuff is just generic XYZ support, so it kind of really fits in this deck. There we go, I can set this, and then I can search the other one. Mimicry searches any Raidraptor card as well, so if I need to search the other rank up magic spell, I can do that too. And there we go, I can bring one out, and I'm going to bring out the Strange Lanius, which of course brings me back one for free. I have not used, if I'm not mistaken, Raider's Wing effect just quite yet. And even, yeah, again, even though I didn't have my best play card, or my best play starter, I can still do some pretty amazing stuff. Mimicry can now search me another card. Yeah, in this case I didn't have it, but that's okay. Right, this is still like a really good end board. Again, all the monster negates, and I have a Omni basically, Called by the Grave, whatever. Those are just kind of blank cards that go in the deck. But I do run more hand traps now because I do feel like the deck is just a little bit more consistent. So let's take a look going second, and of course this isn't the best going second deck of all time, but the way that the deck is played now because of the new cards, like, you can very often see 2 hand traps. Like, you can run like 10 hand traps in the deck, which is really nice. Just all of it is basically because Time Thief Regulator exists. But okay, so he's going to bring that back, and I know this brings out 2 from the deck, so I figure this is the best Ash Blossom target, and I think he just passes on this. So I need to be able to put this back into the extra deck, or shuffle it away or something. So that just seems like a prime target for the Time Thief Regulator. Again, the Time Thief stuff isn't bad in your hand because they're always just extenders. You can just detach to bring this out, which is really cool. And I'm probably going to search the counter trap. I would search the other name, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to bring anything back to trigger it, so I might as well just search, something, a little bit of follow-up. And that's going to go ahead and do this. I have the extra cards here, and now I can search the counter trap. I always say counter. It feels like a counter trap, but it's really not. I wish it was a continuous spell. That'd be sick. But, alright, I can go ahead. And this is actually gives you a little bit of an attack boost, which I guess is pretty nice. There goes the Phantom Knight's Rusty Bardige. I can bring this out. This is actually like an attack lowering card. So you can actually use the effect. So Satellite Cannon isn't completely useless. And then there we go. I can shuffle this back so the effect doesn't go through, and I'm off to the races. And I'm pretty sure that this is just game. Same concept for the trap trick stuff here in a second. I have one more replay I'll show you guys, and I think you get the idea. He has a bunch of names in hand, which is really good for me. But, I have 2 hand traps plus full combo. These are all normal summons, but, really not too bad because I'm going to be able to search out the new name, which is then going to give me something else. This is like the worst top deck I could have possibly gotten, so that's like kind of sucks. But it is what it is. I still have plenty of cards to extend through. I'm going to be able to search the new one, but all of these kind of do the same thing in a sense. But I might as well bring up Mimicry because it does search me any card in the game or in the archetype. And then, yeah, nice. So what I really like about this new little combo line I've gone through is, like, going second, your Time Thief Regulator just gets better because of Adjuster, right? You can just search it out, and then you get to free special summon when you bring back Basil. So it's actually like a really good addition to the deck that is going to be a staple for me now. He does destroy this, so I don't get to rank up. No big deal. The effect still did trigger. You don't actually have to, it doesn't have to go through, just have to actually, like, attempt to do it, which is really nice. There goes Rusty. I can send Boots, give me myself Shade Brigandine, and then also search a rank up magic spell, and here we go. I can go into Dark Rebellion, which of course I can use to pop a card, and then I can bring out another body. I think I did this in reverse order. No big deal. I should have gone into Time Thief first, of course. So that was my fault. But yeah, like, the new list definitely makes you have to play, like, way better, which is pretty cool. There's a big skill. Like, there are those, like, paper combo lines, but to really, like, get good at the deck, it takes a lot of practice, which is nice. I really like that about Raidraptor. Everything's very unique, and of course, right, like, this card's just absurd. And then you can just, like, bring something back for free, which is nice. And sometimes you can even, like, trigger it by, negating something, bringing something back, putting it into the zone. So there's lots of really cool things that you can do. Yeah, that is the new look at the Raidraptor support. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Other than that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.